Wij staan de meeste dames er al klaar voor. 4 uur, 2 à 3 minuten. In verband met de livestream. Enkele minuten later de daadwerkelijke...
We had an exhilarating first round from Zakaria in Turkey. Now we head to the picturesque city of Leuven in Belgium for round 2. This is the UCI MTB Eliminator World Cup, and Leuven is 25 kilometres east of Brussels. It's a historic city, and you will be seeing shots of the Gothic architecture across the town. It was the City of Sport in 2021 when it hosted the World Road Race Championships, but today it's a bit different.
It is indeed. This is our course here. It is the very tight cobbled section. Now it's nice and dry today, which means loads of grip. The rock garden, the rollers, the step up that you have to hit just right, all coming on the way in towards this big tabletop. And then we have the drop down, so it's going to be a tight turn in here. It's slightly bumpy on the way down here, and we saw a lot of action in here last year. Round that left hand turn on the Red Bull ramp, and then up on to the step ups here, and this is where the riders have to get the power down, then up and over the wooden slats on the top. Very tricky indeed. Now the riders are going to head out and around here, and I have to say, Emma, this is looking really like a technical course. My name's Matt Payne. I'm here in the studio with
Emma Martin.
And Emma, you've been keeping your eye on the qualifications and on the way through. Been really fast, hasn't it?
It has indeed.
The women's time trial kicks off our racing. Bring us the details here.
Well, I think the thing to note today is Fromberger, our winner from round 1, indeed set the fastest time with Ghana Tormena in 2. But take a look at that. Elodie Kuiper did not make it through to the quarterfinals. She was our rider in 17th place in the individual time trial, not making it through today.
Well, really interesting, and it is very much a very specialist discipline. It means that those riders who are coming in to our quarterfinals, you can see them on your screen from in there. The riders numbered in the order that they qualify. So let's get ready and head down to the start line for the first of our quarterfinals. Marion Fromberger, Colleen Closure, you've got Valentine Schrotzenberger and Melanie Van Kamvoort in that order across. And you can see Fromberger, the series leader jersey on her shoulders. The 15 seconds to go aboard is all ready to roll, and away they go. So this is the big kick off from the line. You can see though that Fromberger's not held a line there, and a stumble there. She slipped her pedal. She was having to correct, and it may well be she's lost a chain on the way through. And this is the World Cup leader here. Looks like the chain has gone, and this has led the way open. And look at this, all of a sudden it's all changed here, because Fromberger with that time and trial win leading, now being deposited and dumped unceremoniously down into what is a 4th position. Now, what is important here, this is the quarterfinals, 2 through, 2 will not go through, and at the moment you can see that Schrotzenberger and Closure are both looking very good at the moment, and as they come up off from the Plaza, the crowds out and around Leuven here for round number 2 of the World Cup, looking like we've got 2 riders clear. They can't afford to relax though, because the chase is on behind, and that looks like that's Melanie Van Kamvoort, who is trying to close down on the back wheel here, and that's the back wheel of Schrotzenberger.
Yeah, so Schwarzenberger in second place at the moment, but Van Kampvoort pushing hard, trying to close that gap because these two riders are not clear yet. It's 2 laps of the course today in Leuven, and Cloudier making the most of that broken chain from Fromberger, pushing on here and trying to go clear.
So our riders make their way around now. We're just taking a little bit of a look down for the riders coming in and through. Here they come, and at the moment, Closure, you can see those rainbow bands on the side of the shot. She's been a regular rider at the top and looking good at the moment. Looking like she's coming back to her best behind Valentina Strassenberger, looking like she wants to challenge. Now they're pushing on and they're overtaking. Fromberger's going to come through that finishing line. She's not going to get it finished, but she will be in last place to come through, and we await the official confirmation. Now the race is watched by our race referees. They're called commissaires in cycling if you're not up to speed with the parlance, and they will make sure that they're happy with all of that action. But you've got to feel for Fromberger, Emma.
You have, and take a look at Cloudier and Schwarzenberger going past. I don't think they believed what they saw, because it was indeed Fromberger. Broken chain, I think. Something went wrong there, and Cloudier making the most of it. Schwarzenberger coming through for 2, and both of them glancing at Fromberger as she walks down the finish straight.
So already we're seeing upsets. This is XCE. This is the Eliminator mountain bike. Now, here we go. We are ready for the second of our quarter-finals. It is Marcelina Matos, it is the show sitter Hammoon van Diest and Civil in here. So will it be merrily Civil, or will it be Chanel, the show sitter? Here we go, Van Diest regularly the fastest starter, but it looks like Matos on a good start here, and Van Diest is pushed into second place. The starts this year super quick, and Matos is going to come diving in there side by side here, and you can see the shoe sitter being pushed wide there by Van Diest. Van Diest has just got the lead here. They come in, but 4 riders in close attention here. A little bit of a gap opening up here, and Matos is opening up the gap. So Marcelina Lima Braga Matos, it is Matos from Brazil leading them out, but right behind Hammoon van Diest is holding second place now. She's being challenged, and you can see at the moment the Chanel, the show sitter, right on the heels, coming round the wall ride section, and you can see show sitter is looking for somewhere to challenge. Now she comes on the left-hand side. She tries to make a move, just going over that obstacle. It's a very low ramp with a blank place across it, and show sitter goes up from 3 into 1 here, and look at this coming up here. We've just seen Marcelina go in to the last place. What is going on there? That is very unusual. It may well be she's got a mechanical issue. She's going to look to come back and maybe do the reverse move as they come into the top. So as they go up over the top of the tabletop. What a move there by Chanel, the show sitter. She absolutely mastered that. And that could be the move of the round already being put in the second of our quarterfinals. Right, show sitter now leading. Now this is the fight for qualification. Remember, only 2 riders go through. What can Matos do about this? How much has she got left? Has she got anything left? She's really struggling on that step up there. Now look over the shoulder for Hammoon, who we know has got power, and it looks like Matos is going to be past. She knows she's not going to go through here. So it is going to be Chanel, the show sitter, who goes in through. As our winner, it's going to be Hammoon van Diest, who goes through in second position. Matos and Civil will not qualify. Emma, what happened?
Well, that was amazing, wasn't it? Because Matos' start was phenomenal. Take a look at this. You can see she absolutely nailed the start, but you know, that inside corner Van Diest early on, and then Showsitter. I think she'd been watching the men's 8th finals, because Showsitter picked up on that technique. A number of men overtook there, and she utilised that to her advantage. Okay,
into our next one. It's going to be Alina Simois on the start list, with Gaia Torment, the world champion, looking to take back command of this series, and she's been left with a chance to do so. She's got Abrahamson and Vermeer with the riders from Sweden and from Belgium. So at the front it is the world champion, the multi-world champion, Gaia Tormena. She's got the number 2 plate on them behind in the blue and white. You can just see the chase is coming at the moment, and it looks to me like that battle for what is 3rd and 4th place may well be over. Just taking a little bit of a look back, but watching the technique through here now, you can just see the riders coming around. Most of the riders are racing on a hardtail bike, so front suspension only. At the moment, as they go up through this section, it's using that lightweight frame and using that direct drive through with no loss due to suspension, no power loss. However, when you go onto the bumps, that's where that dual suspension. We are seeing some of the riders riding some of the bikes with a full suspension bike to get the power down over the obstacles. It does help in certain sections, but you can see at the moment Gaia Tormena leading this out, has got a clear run, but look at 2nd and 3rd place. This is an absolute battle at the moment. Now, are we going to see Elena Simois really take the fight? And look at this, got problems again. We're going to see another upset here today. That was a big problem there. And Gaia Tormena has been dumped down into 3rd place. Shades of Fromberger here, but she's managed, I think, to get the chain on while she was moving. There was a bad move there. The chain, I think, came off. She managed to get it on while she was pedaling, and the world champion's going to make a move. Look at this, she's threading the needle on the inside. They're going to go into this. She can't get past at the moment. It's going to come down to the sprint. It's a sprint for qualification here. Could the world champion be knocked out? She's going to go through. She's not going to take the win. It's going to go to Agnes Abrahamson. So it's Abrahamson in one, it's Tormena in 2. And Simois there almost had that.
Well, that was an absolute consummate class way of getting the chain back on, not panicking and getting back into the race from Tormena. Phenomenal move by Simois to go past Abrahamson, but then Tormena with that problem, pumping those steps hard and going through.
Okay, let's move on to the final of our quarterfinals in the women's competition here. We've got Pennings, De Vries, Magnum and Boissier. So 15 seconds to go. Board goes across. That means that the riders know sometime in the next 15 seconds. They don't know when. They go on the sound of the whistle. Now, here we go. Didi De Vries going clear at the front in the current champion, the national champion of the Netherlands, goes in, and you can just see a move up the inside there by Boissier. She was down on the course yesterday, checking out the course. She run a little bit wide and pushes even further wide. You see Magnum and Pennings both having to fight for position behind, and look at this, there is a clear run being made by De Vries, but it's not all over until you get to the line. So 2nd, 3rd and 4th places, an absolute battle at the moment. And look at this, Didi De Vries low round at that turn, much higher. You can see the riders who are chasing, they're going high, they're taking that higher line, they're taking more speed in. You've got to get the landing right. There's not a super easy transition to come round that high bend to the landing, and that fight behind is between Magnum and Boissier at the moment. Boissier just being pushed down into 3rd place at the moment, out of a qualifying spot. She's got to respond to this. Pennings at the moment in 4th place. Now round that left-hand turn here. So Didi De Vries looking like she's clear. We said this before, though, and I'm not going to curse this with the commentator's curse, but here they come. They're dropping down into the square after they step up. Not got to carry too much speed over here as they come in and round. And it's about getting the traction, getting the power down, but not making a mistake. And we are seeing lots of mistakes today, Amanda.
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because this round in Leuven last year, it was pouring with rain, and there were some real issues with tyre pressure and corners and riders slipping out. Today, it is dry. The sky is blue, the sun is blazing, and there are still problems for the riders. You would never imagine Fromberger and Tormena having problems in the quarterfinals.
Well, here we go. This is the quarterfinals. 2 riders going through, 2 riders eliminated from the competition. It's going to be a win for Didi De Vries. 2 laps are going to be complete. Behind it is going to be Elin Magnum going the way of the time trial. So our riders going through are De Vries and Magnum, and it's going to be Boissier and Pennings out of the competition. They get to sit in the bar at the side in this Leuven, the home of the biggest beer brewery in Belgium, one of the key industries in the area. So you can see your qualifiers going through. Tormena scraping through. Big news here. Matos, winner of round 1 last year, and of course winner of round 1 this year, going out of the competition.
Absolutely, but we are straight away into our next start, Matt, and that is going to be our men.
So the men's quarterfinals are lined up to go. Now this is race number 1. It's Kalhoven, Nobel, Ricker, Klausman and Klemenchik. And normally Klausman is the fastest start, not anymore. Oh no, he's not getting all of his own way by any stretch of the imagination. We know the riders have been working on this. Kalhoven had the start. He got the fastest time in the time trial, courtesy of that number 1 plate. And around this right-hand turn they go. Up on to the back. You can see how much speed carrying. The riders want to land on the downside of the ramp to carry the pace off there. You can't accelerate when you're in the air. You can't get any drive through. So the riders will try and jump into the down ramp, use gravity and use the pace. Now all 4 riders still in contention. We have seen moves being made. This is going to be critical. Kalhoven really starts to wind this up. You can see the sprint is on down this straight, and this is only a dress rehearsal for the final sprint because they come in and through. Being watched by the eagle eye of our chief commissaire here. That is Adrian Walls from Great Britain, who's down on site making sure the riders are following the route. He's also no doubt enjoying the racing as well as the atmosphere down here. Kalhoven leading, Klausman in 2. But look at this, European champion in 3 at the moment. They are trying to keep this all together. They're not being able to pull this back, as though it looks to me like Kalhoven has got these lines and he's defending well, really high, carrying so much speed over the top there. And Obed Rickett nearly going over the top of the backing. Now, are we going to see a move? A little bit of a stall there. It looked to me by Klausman as they came up. He's going to have the kick. Klemenchik's trying to come on his outside in that European jersey. Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be to the line. Oh! Look at that.
And Klausman takes that from Klemenchik, and it is indeed the European champion that misses out there. But our first 2 riders through, Klausman and Klemenchik.
So really interesting to see. We are having a real battle now. Nemec says, Jerome Van Eck and Van der Steen in here, 15 seconds go. Says, really fast starter. Jerome Van Eck, an absolute powerhouse. He is an absolute phenomenon. Will he have the power today? He's battling out there off from the gun, and I tell you what, he's been dumped down unceremoniously down into 3rd place here with that number 13 place turned upside down for luck. Simon Nemec at the moment leading this out. So it's Nemec at the moment, the man who had the slowest time trial, leading out this group of 4 riders here in the second of our men's quarterfinals here, round 2 of the UCI mountain bike Eliminator, the XCE by City Mountain Bike, and the riders coming sweeping through these turns, still in line astern, and in 3rd place you can see Van Eck taking a really big look up there. He's looking to try and make a move, and now we start to see Sarah's trying to push in the blue. This is the run. This is the kick. Who's going to be able to get it? They have got to push in. I tell you something, they are not leaving anything to chance at any point on the way through. You can just see Sarah's move there and a stall there. Van Eck just clipping the top. It was a great recovery as he came in through. But Sarah's now up in 2. What is first spot? Lorenzo put it in a move there as they came up the straight, but he's now the man that they can all take a run at. Will they be able to make a move up over the top? They come down. They're going to take the drop down these little steps that seem to cause so many problems. Sarah's almost overcooking it on last year's crash corner, and they go around that turn. Sarah's there. Now Van Eck starting to wind up. Van Eck will want to make sure of that place, and it looks to me after leading out for so long that Nemec is going to be put down into 4th place. There's a big sprint behind. Van Eck's going to take him all the way in towards the barriers, and he's going to go out there. What a ride. Well, the time when you need to be at the front. Van der Steen has it nailed. It's at that finishing line.
Yeah, and Van der Steen kept his powder dry all race until that last sprint, because that sprint at the end of lap 1, Nemec lost the lead. It went out to Ceres. Ceres in 1, Van Eck in 2. And then, of course, Van Eck goes out. He does not qualify because Van der Steen comes through, Ceres in 2, and they are the qualifiers from that run.
So the riders are lined up for the next up. The riders kick out and away goes our world champion. It is going to be Perrin-Ganier, but he's right behind Simon Gegenheimer. He's the man in black who has got the race lead. But you can see pushing his way up into second place at the moment is Quentin Schrotzenberger. And Schrotzenberger is a man, he makes some incredible moves. You've got to give him a massive amount of space around the outside, but as they go over the top, it's Gegenheimer at the moment from Schrotzenberger. Then it's Perrin-Ganier, and immediately behind in fourth place at the moment, it's Eddie Carol Molnar. But Carol Molnar at the moment in fourth place. That is no mean a thing. It's not a problem if you've got the power of Van der Steen, as we saw in the last round. Now big kick here coming from Gegenheimer. Schrotzenberger still glued to his wheel. Perrin-Ganier, we know, has got a massive sprint. He makes that move. He dives from right to left. He goes up the inside of Schrotzenberger. He comes in hot though. Will he run wide? Can Schrotzenberger come up the inside? He can't. Now into the S-bend. They shouldn't see a move made in here. We say shouldn't. We've got Schrotzenberger in the race. That's never the case as they go over now. Left turn, sweeping right, and then we're going to be on the left. It drops us down into the steps over this big tabletop. And Schrotzenberger pushes on. He's having to push onto Gegenheimer's wheel because Tito and Perrin-Ganier is pressurizing Schrotzenberger. Perrin-Ganier, the teammate of Gegenheimer, and Gegenheimer could well be just stalling back a little bit here. I can't imagine he can't take that risk. But here we go, now the sprint is on. This is the run for the line. This is where it's critical. They're coming flying in. And Perrin-Ganier is going to put the power down. It's going to be Gegenheimer coming through with him. And Schrotzenberger is out. The time between those riders, 0.1 of a second tied.
Wow.
It is 1 and 2, and 0.2.
I tell you what, Gegenheimer nearly got caught out there because Schrotzenberger was really fighting for that qualification place. He didn't make it, and Perrin-Ganier came through. So we have got 15 seconds next to the next race. We've got Demanjian, Malkreski, Hauser and Schnauden in this lineup.
Right, here we go, and the riders out and away. Now, Malkreski, one of the really faster riders. He has got the number 6 plate on today, and he is a rider who we know has got a big kick. But Hauser, definitely a rider to watch out for. You can just see at the moment that Theo has with the number 11 plate, but don't discount Demanjian. Demanjian with the number 3 plate, always capable of putting the power down, and all these riders really stretching here. This is probably one of the biggest gaps we've had all race, Emma.
Look at that, absolutely flying around that Red Bull turn there. All of our riders, but a big gap in comparison to the other races at the moment. So as the riders continue, they're coming down the finish straight for the first time. Now we have seen sprint after sprint in the quarterfinals from the men here, but not in this. We've got the number 3 plate coming through. Demanjian in the lead there, clear as he goes round.
So the riders on the way in to the line here, coming around the turn, will know that they have got to be able to have a clear run. They've got to get around this part of the circuit first, and this lower part of the square. They drop down into the lower square. 2 riders clear, and I think they're now going to be aware that they've got to just watch for the run. A massive look over the shoulder. Look at that. That is cool as a cucumber stuff from Demanjian there. He looked over his shoulder. You can see that he's got Hauser behind him. Hauser putting a little bit of a lean on there. That was the most unnecessary piece of leading you've ever seen in your life. They fist bumped on the way through, and the push coming up from Schutterden, they're not able to get back in touch. Malkreski not coming out to play, not like Lucas, but maybe he put everything down in that time trial where he got 6th. So that's our men's quarter-finals done and dusted. Wow.
Wow, it was indeed. And Demanjian went out hard, and he went out from the gun aiming to get that and go clear, and boy was he clear by the end of lap 1. Then it was the case of making sure he held on right the way through to the finish, and Hauser coming through in 2, particularly on lap 2, and they played around on that finish date, but they both qualified.
Well, what a race there today. Here are your qualifiers. You can see Klausman, Klemenchik, Perrin-Ganier, Gegenheimer, Van der Steen, Seres, Hauser and de Mongeon. They are going to be the riders in our men's semi-final here for the UCI Mountainbike Eliminator World Cup here in Leuven in Belgium. It's round number 2, round number 1. Well, that was in Zakaria, and that was a very different track. 1 lap, a very big fast track with a huge hill in it. No hills here.
Yeah, absolutely. There was indeed a huge hill in it, and there was a very technical climb in it. Now, no technical climbs today, but lots of very tight corners, and we're seeing a lot of overtaking in the last third of the lap.
Now, these are your riders in the half finals, the semi-finals. You can see De Schoossit, Van Diest, Clojure, Schwarzenberger in 1, Tormena, De Vries, Magnum, and Brammensen in 2. This is going to be interesting, and you've got to feel for Fromberger. She's going to be watching on the sidelines, because that is going to be tough stuff.
It is indeed. There are going to be very tight semi-finals today in this women's race.
So let's see what's going to happen, and looking forward to our semi-finals. Here we've got semi-final 1 and semi-final 2. The riders are lined up ready to go. So you can see down on the line, the riders just getting raised up and ready. They're in those 15 seconds to go. Clojure in here. She came through, but look at Schoossit. She's really up for this, and away she goes, but she doesn't have the quickest start. That is Clojure. Then it is Van Diest. Van Diest putting a lean on there. You could just see Van Diest putting a lean on Schwarzenberger, putting the lean on there. Schoossit comes around and now are being pushed back into third spot, but we've seen the moves being made. Lots of room to overtake it. Nice wide course. It allows the riders in between the obstacles to really put the power down here. And Colleen Clojure at the moment leading this out. Then it is going to be Schwarzenberger in 2. Then it is going to be in third place, Schoossit. So Schoossit coming through in third position at the moment. They've got to chase hard here. Schoossit, is this where she's going to make a move? Here we come up on to the step-ups. Any mistakes are going to be in trouble. Look at Schoossit. She's always looking for the chance to come around. She makes a move. She's up in the 2-2. We're looking for number 1 spot, and that's what she's got. Look at that power on that straight. She puts it down. 3 riders left in contention. 2 riders through to the final. This is going to be close.
Yeah, look at that. Van Diest taking the inside line on that corner, coming past Clojure now. Clojure in third, and she's gone from first to third into this second lap.
Here we go, down into the descent, and look at that. Clojure is all over the place at the moment, down into third place, and that gap really has opened up there. You can just see the pressure on. I'll tell you something, Schoossit is looking absolutely superb on this course. She's nailing everywhere. She's making gaps all the way through here. She can carry pace. She doesn't need to worry about that start. She's making ground everywhere else. And at the moment, it's going to be all about the racer behind for second place. Van Diest should have this, surely.
Yeah, I think she has, because Clojure, I tell you what, she has a problem with that wave feature. She went off the start line hard on lap 1, and then it was like the brakes came on when she hit the wave feature. She really mistimed her pumping on it, and then she got it completely wrong on lap 2. An absolute nemesis of a feature for Clojure, and taken her out first and into third.
And for a rider of her class, it shows you that the speed day, I think that could be what's putting people off. They're hitting these obstacles so quick. Let's look at this again.
She hit it wrong lap 1, and I think it played on her mind, and lap 2 it went so wrong on the same feature.
So to come around that wall right, Schoosit's moves, she was absolutely superb. She's going to be a threat coming in to the finals, and away we go. This is the second of our semi-finals. They're up and racing. Gaia Tormena leading out. So it is Gaia Tormena in 1. It's Didi de Vries in 2. In 3, it is going to be Mike Dam, and in 4, it is Didi de Vries. So Didi de Vries currently pushing on in 4th place. In sorry, into second place here. Really looking to move up here. Bramison right in the back here. So it is Gaia Torment in one. Did it reach in two? At the moment, they have a little bit of a gap on Magnum. But looking at this, Gaia Torment, after those problems getting the chain back on, will want to try and keep it smooth. And sometimes it's just that bounce that will take the chain off the bike. Hitting these steps too hard, not being smooth. Smooth is fast, and that is key. Now, Gaia Torment looking to score big points. She was not in to the final. She was wiped out in Sakurai, and that is going to make a big difference. So Sakurai, really her nemesis this year. Round one, not always her best, but at the moment she's got the lead immediately behind her. You can see that move being made. Magnum now moving up on De Vries. Diddy De Vries has got to go around the outside. De Vries working to go up on to the side here, but at the moment the world champion has the lead. Takes that right hand turn. You see that saddle, it's really low down there. Fantastic, a jump up over the top, clears it, goes on to the drop down there. This is looking very tight. Now the fight, remember, is about getting into the top two. That is critical here. De Vries has got to move it. She's got to kick now. She's really got to put a sprint in up these steps and into that finishing straight. Has she got the power? Here they come. They're going to make the way in towards the line. De Vries is trying to come on the side. Look over the wrong shoulder there by Magnum, but I think the gap is going to be too big here. Tormenta goes through as winner. It is going to be Magnum who's going to go through immediately behind, and Diddy De Vries will not be in our final.
And it was that move at the end of lap one from Magnum which put her into that second qualifying position. And fantastic to see Tormenta jumping those features where the others are squashing them and keeping the tyres on the ground.
Yeah, brilliant to see. Here we go. This is that start. Tormenta with a usual lightning fast start here, but they are side by side, and you could just see as they came through there that it was incredibly tight taking those corners.
Yeah, absolutely, and Tormenta absolutely dominant out of the start pen. She led from, look at the air there with the others squashing that jump and not taking the air like Tormenta. She's out there, she's leading, she's having fun, and she is letting the crowd enjoy her riding.
Well, happy riders are fast riders. It is the well-known phrase, and saying great believer in that. And I tell you something, that was great to see, because you get so much time if you can carry that pace through. So your qualifiers are Chanel de Chaussette, and they're going through with the Amboon Van Diest, Gaia Tormenta and Lynn Magnum into the main final, the minor final for the rest of the riders from positions 5 to 8. Now, on to the men's semi-finals. Some great riders in here. Going to be very interesting when you've got Perrin-Ganier and Gegenheimer and De Mongeon and Hauser all in that second one.
That could well have been the final.
It could have been the final. It won't be this time. So, Klausman, fast starter. Ceres, great mover. Van der Steen, great overtaker. Klemenchik, able to leave it to the last moment and the run in. This could be anybody, so away we go. So here we go, next race underway. Klemenchik going to be moving up the inside. He's not going to get the whole shot. He's come around that corner as they come onto the course proper from that start. As they take that left hand turn, it's going to be Ceres who's going to be leading this out. Ceres from Klausman, from Van der Steen, from Klemenchik, but that is not the order as they come around this turn, because you can see Ceres at the moment has Klemenchik on his way on. Klausman deposited down into third place. Now, Van der Steen is in last, but that means absolutely zero today here, because we've seen him move from fourth to first. Can he do it again? Can he do it on the very last sprint? Well, we will see. Maybe he'll make an earlier move. So Ceres taking the high line, making sure he carries plenty of pace, landing it, placing it down. And look at that, Klemenchik there, making a real pace here of that ascent up those steps. That's not like him. He's usually super smooth on the ascent, but carrying so much speed. Now comes a sprint to get into corner one. In first place, Klemenchik has the power. He goes up the inside. Klausman is in two, and now Ceres is down in three, but he comes round nice and tight on those barriers, carries plenty of pace. And look at this now, Van der Steen makes a move. Ceres and Van der Steen there, shoulder to shoulder, it's elbow to elbow, and Van der Steen can't muscle his way through this one. Ceres very wise to that move. He gets his elbows out, he's sharpened them, I think, especially for that manoeuvre. And you can see that Van der Steen is going to have to think again. Time is running out for him. He's in fourth position. Ceres in third. In second is Klausman. Leading it out is Klemenchik. Round this turn. Now it's a run up to the line. It's uphill. It's all about power. You've got to keep this smooth. Klemenchik again He doesn't carry much speed through there, but look at Van der Steen. He's up from 4 to 3. Can he challenge for a top 2? Can he make his way through into the final? They're all over the course here. Klemencic's going to go through.
He's done it!
Oh, look at that. Van der Steen goes through. What a sprint.
What a sprint coming from those men. That was absolute eyeballs out racing from all 4 of those for those qualifying positions for the major final. What a race.
That was something else, and what a result. I tell you something, I'm just going to pull Emma out of the top of the commentary box here. I think that's I've heard her for a long time.
Klemencic taking that with Van der Steen coming through for the second qualifying position. This is indeed, wow.
It is, wow, what a move. Van der Steen, he comes in, I mean, the run in here, you wouldn't say he's got any chance of making a move through to get into the final. Klemencic's powering away. He goes for it up here. Now, Klemencic, we know we've seen him going on those steps, not getting it 100% right. Klausman's got a massive sprint. Serres shakes his head in disgust, but
comes through the middle.
He goes and threads up. What a result. Now, we thought that was good. This is going to hopefully be just as good. Gegenheimer on left in the black, De Mongeon in the light blue, dark blue. Perrin-Ganier World Championship stripes. You've got Hauser from Austria in that red, blue and white kit with the yellow helmet on there on the right of your screens in lane number 1. Who's going to take this? The way they go. So the riders are starting. The world champion is a sprint, but look at Gegenheimer. Now, are we going to see a little bit more tactical racing? House goes on the outside. He goes over Perrin-Ganier. Oh, they're diving around each other. And look at this. House has just pushed Gegenheimer from 1 to 3. Gegenheimer with his teammate, they're in 3 and 4. Hauser's got his elbows out, and Gegenheimer's having none of it. The man in black up around the outside. Is he going to take that right hand turn? Is he going to be able to call the tune today? He's got to get around the side here. This is going to be so tight. It is currently killing De Mongeon, who's leading them out. De Mongeon's due a big win. Is it going to be today? Oh, he's a bit ropey coming off that sidewalk there, coming off that turn. They're up on to the steps now. De Mongeon, not the prettiest, but definitely carries plenty of pace through there. He's got the gap over Gegenheimer. Gegenheimer accelerating up onto his wheel, and now the battle is 2-2. But look at Perrin-Ganier. That might as well have been the finishing sprint. It goes over Hauser. Hauser takes a deep breath. Now he's got to reset and think again as Gegenheimer goes into the lead. They're coming down here. He's made the move in that final corner, coming in and round onto the course. Gegenheimer in 1, De Mongeon in 2. It's a teammate of Gegenheimer, the world champion in 3. He's running wide. He's taking a look at the moment at De Mongeon. He wants to go past him. He's up on the jump. He's coming around on the outside. It's so risky. They're overlapping wheels. It's so tight. Oh, he's down. And a big crash there, and it looks like that's going to take out Hauser. That was overlapped. He went round the outside. He took the risk, and now it's going to leave the 2 teammates to run to the line. What a result for these 2. They're going to go through, but I tell you something, they are going to be holding their breath. Now, Hauser has picked himself up first by the look of it. He is going to come in 3rd place over the line. He's going to get it on the back wheel. Well, they give each other congratulations. They move to the team for Perrin-Ganier this year. But the commissaire team and the race referee is going to be having a look at that. De Mongeon, he overlapped that wheel, and then there was nowhere left for him to go, and that front wheel scrubbed.
Absolutely not. Nowhere to go. Gegenheimer off the line. De Mongeon comes through. Gegenheimer takes it back. It is side by side. Perrin-Ganier comes round at the end of lap 1 from last place into 3rd. Then side by side, shoulder by shoulder with his compatriot from France, De Mongeon. And indeed, at the moment, well, Gegenheimer and Perrin-Ganier, the world champion of the 2 to qualify.
Wow, what a result. Now, got to feel killing De Mongeon. He'll pick himself back up again. That could have been his best result. He will go into the minor finals for positions 5 to 8. But it's not where he wanted to be, and it is always hard, isn't it, when you come down like that. Let's have another look again. Great start by Gegenheimer, but he just really did promise to be shoulder-to-shoulder stuff. You can see Gegenheimer and De Mongeon really just trading blows all the way around here.
Well, 4 of them so well matched. absolutely, as we see Perrin-Ganier go round de Montjean, and we see them come into this corner. They're coming down the steps at the moment, and in fact, Perrin-Ganier was clear of de Montjean. His wheel, there was space between the back wheel and the front wheel. There was no altercation between those two sets of wheels. It was just indeed de Montjean by the look of that.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. So it looks like that's going to be clear after that replay. It's going to be Gegenheim and Perrin-Ganier from the second of our semi-finals, and the Klemenchuk and Van der Steen from the first going through. So our finals are up next. We have 4 more races left. We're going to start with our women's minor final, then the men's minor final. We'll move on to the women's final, and then the men's final. So the positions 5th to 8th fought out in this minor final, and then the positions 1 to 4 in the main final.
Yeah, absolutely, and the crowd's out and about in Leuven today, thoroughly enjoying the racing, and what a spectacle they're seeing today.
Okay, take us through these riders. Anybody particular grab you in the minor final? So we are going to see the minor final here. It is
De Vries, Abrahamsen, Closure and Schwarzenberger here. Now, for me, I'm going to call De Vries.
You're going to call De Vries? I think she was looking good. I just think she likes that last little bit of kick sometimes. Abrahamsen, really strong.
Well,
Closure, what
she's
could
got
it
to
be?
nail that wave feature.
Well, here we go. They are off and away. Closure's going to get the whole shot into corner number 1, but you can see De Vries pushed down back by Abrahamsen. Abrahamsen's racing really has come on this year. She's looking so strong. We just saw her racing at Falun last year. Now she's looking good this year. She's right on the heels of Closure. But this is about choosing your moment to strike. At the moment, it's Schwarzenberger, who has made the top 8, who is currently at the back of the field. So this is going to be really, really key here. Who is going to take this out? This is all about making sure you get this right. Oh, a little bit squirrely there from Closure. She came down that same section where we just saw de Montjean go down. Remember, the bikes and weights to go down those steps. Those riders with full suspension are able to allow the back wheel to track that a little bit more. You get bounced about a little bit more on a hardtail, but it's generally a little bit lighter. It's not much, but every little bit counts. You can see what those gaps are as these riders come through. So this 4 positions, 5, 6, 7 and 8 at the moment. In prime spot, Colleen Closure leading through in second position at the moment. That is Agnes Abrahamsen. Then it is going to be Didi De Vries coming through in 3rd place, with Schwarzenberger in 4th at the moment. That is in the race as they come up on to this wave feature, and it looks like it is well truly dialed there for Closure. She's carried plenty of pace over there.
She is indeed. She's absolutely mastered that now. She's not going to let that play on her mind this time round. She's going out to win this small final, and she's doing it in style. So Closure in 1, then the race is on for 2nd place in this small final as we see Abrahamsen close down on the back wheel of Closure. Now there's still time to put a push here as they swing into the final run. Closure in 1, Abrahamsen and De Vries. Closure pushing on. She really does not want to be beaten on the line here. She's not. She sighs. It's hers.
So 5th place for Closure, it's a 6th place for Abrahamsen, 7th for De Vries, and 8th place here for Schwarzenberger in the elimination finals. The minor final 4th places 5 through to 8. Next up is going to be the men's minor final. That is for the same positions, 5 to 8 here in the square at Leuven. And great to see these mountain bikers really showing the skills to the masses. If it looks easy, believe me, it's not. All the features are much bigger in real life, having stood next to them, and they are much tougher. You or I probably would struggle to ride across these, Emma, and you know, we're not that bad on a mountain bike, let's face it.
Well, there's one thing riding across them, there's another thing racing across them, because the pace these riders are moving at really makes the features ride differently now. Klausmann, de Montjean, Ceres and Hauser are the 4 riders about to be out of the pen.
Here we go, the riders away, and at the moment you can see it is going to be Ceres who's leading out. House goes up on the inside of him. Klausmann is pushed into 3rd place. He runs wide, carries plenty of speed. At the moment, it is the man who hit the floor hard, de Montjean, who is sitting in what is 4th place in this race, 8th in the competition overall. If you were to finish there, Hauser quickly up over the top, getting that right. Ceres in immediately behind, and De Mongeon, I think, is going to cruise around here, just look to profit. If somebody makes a mistake, he won't want to hit the floor twice. It's very unforgiving when you hit the cobbles, but Hauser leading this out. Look at the technique round there. Squashes it low, keeps his body down, that centre of gravity down, looking really good. He pops up those steps. He's got Ceres in behind him. He's going to come around. Big kick in as he goes down the straight. You won't want anybody to come in and past him. I'll tell you what, those gaps are just opening up. They're not getting smaller, they're getting bigger. So it is Hauser who dives around that corner first. Then it is Ceres. Then it is going to be Klausman immediately behind De Mongeon. I think his day is pretty much done. He's just going to roll round to finish. But Hauser, what could have been if he'd have made that final? He came down over the top of De Mongeon. He didn't hit the ground hard though, so he's picked himself up quickly. And Klausman at the moment currently sitting in third place in this race. I think this is a case of Ali ejecta Estor. The die is cast.
Well, I think you might be right there, Matt, as Hauser comes round that Red Bull corner for the last time. Absolutely clear at the moment in first place from Ceres in two. Pushing on Hauser here and showing his dominance here into the finish straight, should I say, with nobody in sight. Ceres in two, Klausman, I think, going to come through for three, and De Mongeon in fourth place in this race and taking eighth overall.
So very happy man. Hauser, I'm sure he would have loved to be in that final, but taking a win, and a win's a win. Ceres comes through in second place, then it is Klausman, and this is the man who hit the floor hard. He's getting lots of support from and cheers from the spectators down at the side. He's had a tough day. He was battling for a place in that final when he came down.
And beautifully demonstrating the front wheel, rear wheel technique up those steps to the ground.
Well, yeah, and you know what? Let's put a coaching session in halfway through the racing. You know, this is how to do it, this is how not to. You see the blood coming down from his knee from where he's been down on the floor. It slid out to his right-hand side. But killing De Mongeon, there'll be another race, and we know he's going to be right in the mix. Just giving it a little bit of a bounce. On full suspension, actually, on a Trek Pro caliber there by the look of that. Right, on to our women's finals. This is for the win in round number 2 of the Eliminator World Cup here today. So our riders are ready. We're on 15 seconds to go. This for maximum points here today. Who's going to take them away? The kick goes now. Tormeni used to be the fastest starter by a way. She's not anymore. They're right on her wheels. And look at this show. So the real revelation this round is into second. Van Diest, who we said was improved. Well, she's not improved as much as Shosita. Look at the move there. She's on the world champion's back wheel. And we've seen so many mistakes. We've seen so many slides. It could come down to one mistake. She's got to keep smooth here. Any of the problems that we see for a rider will take you out at this stage. And there are no more second chances. Now watching them come over Emma. Tormena flying that jump and quickly down in here. She's just got the grip levels nailed, hasn't she? She
has indeed, but Shosita, the Belgian rider in two, absolutely on her wheel. Van Diest is having a hard time staying with them. These two absolutely nailing the features as they ride through lap 1.
Well, here we go. This is the sprint in to come up to hold the position coming through at the moment. The front two starting to pull clear. Shosita putting a move in on the world champion. Guy Tormena takes a look over now. She's been pushed down into 2. Tormena loves to lead from the front. She's been put down into second place by Shosita, who we've seen put in faster final straight. A fast kick up at the top now. Is Tormena going to overjump her on the way through that jump? Come on, Gaia, this is surely, let's see, is it going to be skills that pay the bills? She's up onto the back. She's on the outside, they're side by side, but Shosita has the line. And look at this, they gain so much pace down. They have to scrub some of this off before they come into the wall right. Tormena carries more speed over the top. She's going to get the run. Shosita defends as they come round that turn. Shosita moves to the left-hand lane. Now Tormena starts to wind this up. They're going to come out side by side here. And this is about who's got the kick. It's going to be the world champion who's got the legs. She's got the power. She's got the lungs. She's going to take victory. It's number 1. She's back with the bag. It's Tormena in 1. It is an amazing ride by Shosita. She's going to take 2. Then it's through Magnum in 3. And Van Diest in 4. But what a battle on the front, and Chanel de Chaussita taking it all the way there. Gaia Tormena challenged. She answered the question.
Absolutely, she pushed Tormena to the line. The technical racing between these two women in this final, absolutely phenomenal. Side by side into the technical features on the final lap after Chaussita took Tormena at the end of lap 1.
Well, what a final. We're going to move on to our men's final now. This is for the top 4 positions. Gegenheimer in the black on the left. You've got Perrin-Ganier in the World Champs jersey. Van der Steen with that amazing kick. And Klemencic, who can sprint, and a terrible start for Van der Steen has put him at the back of the race field. If he nailed these race starts, I'll tell you something, he would be incredibly scary, but he's right back on the wheels again. Now Gegenheimer in 1, Klemencic, the European champion, in 2. You've got the world champion in 3, and you have the man who has upset the apple cart time and time again today. Van der Steen sitting in 4th place. Well, let's see if it's going to be a rotten apple, or is it going to be the sweetest side for him today. Up they go onto the banking. Oh, look at that. Van der Steen stars up over the top. He just plants it where he wants. He carried so much speed. He'd lost ground coming into the jump. He took the speed over that jump. He comes in using technique now. Perrin-Ganier looking to move up on Klemencic. It's Gegenheimer leading. Now Perrin-Ganier just looking for a gap. He's gone to the right, he's gone to the left. He can't find a way through. Klemencic has got power. He's coming up, and a look over the shoulder there by Gegenheimer. Can he relax? Can he? Not a chance here in Leuven. This is all about making sure you hold position. You've got to have wide bars and big elbows here today to hold position. There's so much opportunity to overtake. It's so fast here today in the sunshine. At the moment, Gegenheimer in 1, Klemencic in 2. Perrin-Ganier is looking for a move, and here we go. He's made his move over the jump. He's coming in wide. He's got the position. He's gone into 2. That's almost a textbook copy of when he came around in the semis, but this time it's moved him up into 2nd place without anybody hitting the nag behind him. And it's the 2 teammates are side by side. Here they come. Perrin-Ganier, the world champion, is going to lead this out. Gegenheimer's trying to respond. He's now going to answer Van der Steen. Van der Steen's coming on the inside. He goes in and through. Van der Steen takes 2nd. Perrin-Ganier taking the win. Gegenheimer in 3rd place. What a move. And what happened? Does Van der Steen change time and space there? Because he moved up into 2nd place. Perrin-Ganier was class apart, and Gegenheimer's going to be wondering what happened.
Well, Gegenheimer led from the Ganier, but it was indeed Perrin-Ganier and his use of the wide line on the corners, which allowed him to carry the speed into the features for that overtaking manoeuvre. It was absolutely class. Take a look at Perrin-Ganier's cornering and his line on the corner when he comes through and past Klemencic, and then when he comes onto the final straight, he carried more momentum into it, and that is what got him the win.
Well, here we go. This is a reverse shot from the camera angle there. Now, Van der Steen had a terrible stop, but this move up here goes up in through between Klemencic and Gegenheimer to take that on the push. Klemencic's going to have to be content with 4th, but take nothing away from Perrin-Ganier. I tell you something, you went from 3rd, moved up around the corner, you then went into the sprint, you used your strength, race to your strengths, train your weaknesses. Well, that is something else up here. That was an amazing ride. Emma.
2 phenomenal finals.
Two phenomenal finals and amazing racing. So we have Perrin-Ganier, Van der Steen, Gegenheimer and Klemencic. You're 1, 2, 3, 4. Perrin-Ganier is going to take away maximum points. But I tell you something, Janne Van der Steen, he might be my rider of the day. I don't know, there's so many. I think I'm going to have to watch it all back.
He is definitely a rider who can find a gap. He can find a gap anywhere because he's done it in the semis and he's done it in the final. He found a tiny, tiny gap and he got through it to come 2nd in that final. A replica of what he did in the semis. And nice to see 2 Belgian riders finishing in 2nd place in both the women's race and the men's.
Well, it is home turf. Let's have a little bit of a look back here. So this is the move by Gaia Tormena, who trying to challenge Chaussita. Chaussita, again, she could be my rider of the day because she really put it down. She challenged the world champion, who has been very dominant, really.
She absolutely was a brave rider today who did not go to form. She was not bothered by those rainbow stripes. She went out and she gave it her all.
And she rides for the Pal Selson squad, who regularly race across. So great cornering skills by her, and a fantastic final there. Gaia Tormena taking in the win from Chanel du Showsitter. We've got Lina Magnum taking third place at Moon Van Dies, but our world champion is being lined up and ready. And do you know what? That was a tough run in. So our riders are ready. Here we go. Let's have a listen to our world champion and our winner.
Gaia Tormena, you are back to winning race. This must feel incredible.
Yes, of course. Today was not a good day for me. I had quite bad legs and I was not very well on the mental side, we can say. But yeah, then the race turned out to be a final for me and I gave my all and I took this victory and I'm very happy about this.
Did you know that you're also the new leader now in the women's rankings? This must feel for you very thrilled to be wearing the next jersey here for the next round.
Yes, of course. I'm very happy also because last year happened at the same. I started the season with the 4th place and then I won here in Leuven, becoming the new leader. And so yes, this led me think that maybe this season could be more or less the same as last year, so a perfect season.
Obviously, there's much more time, like you winning back to race on winning and claiming much more titles. Are you going for the overall title?
For sure, I will give my best for the overall title, but the season is still long. We have many more races, and so I prefer to think race by race without pretending too much by myself.
Complimenti. See you later.
Well, fabulous to hear Tormena there, thoroughly enjoying her racing and thoroughly dominating that race at the final sprint as we go into the interview with the winner of the men's race, Perrin-Ganier.
Tito, again, racing and winning in the rainbow jersey. This must feel you or give you wings.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool. It's my second win here in Leuven after my one in the World Championship. So in the dry condition, it's much better for sure. And it was super tactical today with a really strong field at the start. And I take the choice to keep calm in the final, especially in the first half lap. And after that, it's simple. It's just push hard in the last straight. Last straight was long and in the little time, so it was hard, but I'm happy.
It was a fierce battle for getting here in the finals as well, with Simon Gegenheimer in the semi-finals and you winning 1 and 2 and then heading to the finals. I think you're securing your World Cup leader jersey for much more points now.
Yeah, for sure. And it's cool to be with Simon in the heat before the final. I meet Simon from the 8th final today. We made all the day together, but it's cool because we can make a team race. And it's cool to save energy in the final. It's super important.
Are you now extra motivated to go in Aalen for the 3rd round?
Yeah, for sure, but Aalen is the hometown of Simon and Marion. And the goal is to see a German win in Aalen for sure. And it's also my dream. But I think we can make a super team race in Aalen to bring the victory at home.
It's great to see an amazing team spirit. Thanks a lot. Merci beaucoup tout toi.
Merci. Désolé, chérie.
Very happy Tito and Perrin-Ganier there, and making the point, of course, that when we do go on to our next round, which is in Aalen in Germany, that's round 3, it is the home turf of Foy's teammates for Marion Fromberger, who's had a bad day at the office, with Simon Gegenheimer, who's had a pretty good day, maybe not the best, but still in those finals. Now, we will have our flower ceremonies coming up for our women and our men, and they're going to be happening very shortly indeed, whilst the crowds enjoy the sunshine here in Leuven. And an absolutely amazing day's of racing. They've been enjoying the racing all day long. We've had young kids out racing on the course. But the riders now making the way in for the flower ceremony. Lynn Magnum of Denmark takes third place. It's a second place for the rider from Belgium. That is Chanel du Showsitter. But it is a return to the top step for Gaia Tormena of Italy, the world champion. The defending a series winner, and of course the rider taking the win here today in top spot. So your top 3 women there, and great riding. Great to see the challenge though, Emma. Great racing. So great racing there, Emma, and great to see the challenge. Here's our standings. Let's take a look. An extended lead over Fromberger there. Fromberger being dropped down because of that crash. She's going to come back strong in Ireland now.
Oh, absolutely. I think Fromberger's going to have something to prove.
I think she is now. Let's take a look at the men. It is going to be a 3rd place today for Simon Gegenheimer in the black of Germany. It is Janne van der Steen of Belgium taking 2nd place in the gold and black, but the world champion in those very iconic rainbow bands is Tito and Perrin-Ganier of France. France having a good day in the World Cups overall, from the BMX right the way through to the XCE. And I tell you something, they're heading up a lot of the world standings as well. It is Tito and Perrin-Ganier, 135 points from Gegenheimer, then Schwarzenberger and Leuven. I tell you something really interesting to see. I think Van der Steen, I mean, look at that. He's in 6th place already. I wouldn't put past him from rocketing up those standings, Emma.
Well, I think it's going to be really interesting to watch the coming rounds. And as you mentioned, Matt, we're from Aalen in Germany on the 15th of July.
Well, I've got to say a massive thank you for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure putting words to the action. You can catch up with me. It's at Matt Fix to Pain.
And me at Viking Emma.
From Emma and I, we're going to watch the highlights of the race action. Stay safe, stay rubber side down. We'll see you again in Aalen, in Germany. We'll see you again soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So all the riders who are born for today and